just before we get into this video, do have to warn you that there are some sensitive topics that are brought up into this video, okay? So if any of these issues affect you directly, we're going to put some numbers and some names up on the screen here for you. Please make sure that you get in contact with them or Andy's Man Club themselves and find out what solutions are out there for you. Hello everybody and welcome back to CPD TV. Today we've got a very special video for you. One of the events that we were accrediting recently in London, we came across an organisation called Andy's Man Club. So Andy's Man Club is an organisation set up for men to get together to be able to talk about their challenges. We're meeting here today with Jake Wise, who runs the Corby sessions. Okay, so he runs Corby every week on a Monday and gets men together to talk about the various things in their lives that they're finding challenging. Okay, so here we go. So tell us a little bit more about Andy's Man Club then. How did it all begin?
So it's obviously an unfortunate story. I think a charity like this doesn't want to exist, and there's a reason why. So Andy's Man Club was started up because of one man, that's Andy Roberts. So as far as his friends and family were aware, he did not suffer from anxiety or depression or have these thoughts of suicide. He was an outgoing lad, he'd been playing football, had a beautiful child that they loved to death. They had issues like anyone else did, but they didn't feel like it was of that extremity. And then one day, Andy's mum gets a knock on the door and that her son had taken her own life in the local park. And even though I don't know the lad, it gets me because without him doing that, it's really unfortunate, but I wouldn't have started, I wouldn't have went on my journey and the thousands of lads that currently gone there. So his brother-in-law, Luke, he decided to start up Andy's. He wanted to create a space in the local community that men could go to and just speak about their feelings and get this stuff off their chest so they didn't have to suffer in silence. 9 lads turned up on that first night, and ever since then, they've been on a massive journey. So it's over 200 clubs across the UK now. We're nearing 5,000 lads coming every night, and that's a massive achievement.
Yeah.
But as Luke says, and I think we all agree, it's not enough. We know there are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, probably even millions of lads out there that think they're alone, that are suffering in silence, that it's too much, it's getting too much for them. Like, mental health is becoming more and more of a crisis, unfortunately. So it is incredibly difficult and it is a hard thing to talk about, but that's the reason why we're here, to make those hard to difficult subjects a little bit easier and know that everyone had, especially Andy's, we want to hear you. We want to make sure you feel heard and that you deserve to feel heard.
Yeah. So, I mean, you talk about, it started with 9 lads using the service and now it's growing to nearly 5,000, So you also mentioned as well, it's free and you can just come along. Is that literally the case? You can just find out where your local centre is, come down and just join in?
Yeah. So when I was promoting Corby, I put up posters everywhere I could think of. Gyms, cafes, GP surgeries. We went to our local supermarkets. We did local radio hits. We had the Evening Telegraph, our local newspaper, in. Everything that we could do. Social media, of course, is a big thing. So we do a lot of our posting on Facebook. So what I'd say to any lad who feels like they want to come, and I'd want to stress as well, it doesn't have to be because you are going through a hard time. Of course, if you are, please do come. We want to hear you. But even if you just want to get out the house for a couple of hours because EastEnders isn't that good anymore and Monday TV in general is pretty crap, just go online. On the website for Andy's, there is a postcode checker. So you literally type in your postcode or your local town and it will tell you your nearest club. It will give you their address. We're open every Monday, 7 till 9, just not on bank holidays. Like I say, it's free to attend. You do not need to register, so you don't need to tell us you're coming. When you come here, and I'll be honest, it's a hard drive, it's a hard walk, it's a hard cycle. I did it in December 2022. And whenever I see a new lad coming in, that's the first thing I think of, is that was so hard for me to come. And I always let them know. And I think a lot of facilitators will let you know, it's like, thank you for coming. Because I know how hard that is. But for you, and then you might do a 2-minute drive. You might do a 20-minute drive. You might do an hour drive. It's still hard to get in that car and tell yourself this is the place to go, because the brain does that sometimes. It wants to fill you with anxiety, and especially if you're feeling down, fill you with dread about it. And then once you get here and tell us your name and why you've come, the world just feels a little bit easier. I don't know how to explain it. It's just the shoulders get a little bit less tense. There's just that little. I had hope, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I can quite imagine. I mean, from the moment I first met you, well, it wasn't yourself, in fact, Jake, it was your colleagues at the event in London. You know, I'd never heard of Andy's Man Club personally, you know, but since I got to know the guys and was chatting to them and then talking about potentially doing something like this, you know, I started seeing your posters everywhere. I started seeing your social media campaigns that you're putting out there, and you're starting to spread the word wide, aren't you? Which is fantastic. I mean, that's why we're hoping to, you know, get you on our platform so that you're able to kind of get the message a little bit further as well. So, you know, you were talking about that kind of really difficult first journey. I mean, what advice would you give to somebody that was feeling about, you know, that they're struggling and they're looking for some opportunity to be able to, you know, to come to something like this? You know, what advice would you give them about that first step?
You're not alone. You are not alone. It is. So when you do your facilitator training, they host their Google Space team meeting, and I had about 100 other lads on it. And the first thing they say to us when they really start it is, right, go back to when you first went. How did you feel? And you've got essentially 100 lads going, I was anxious. I was depressed. This was my last hope. I didn't know what to expect. Completely nervous. Wanting to talk myself out of it. And it is horrible. I'm not going to deny that. And some lads may not feel that. Some lads, it might just be I'm just going to see how it is. I'm completely relaxed about it. But if you are feeling dread, we're normal lads. Like, we're not going to solve your problems. We're not. A lot of lads come because they struggled with therapy. They struggled with counselling, with that one-on-one. It felt like they were being poked and prodded, that the person in front of them didn't know what they were going through. I can near enough guarantee you, if you come to an Andy's Man Club, someone may not have gone through the exact same experience, but the thoughts and the feelings that they've gone through, you would have felt the same. And that level of perspective, like, I remember my first night. I've come because depression, anxiety hit me over COVID, that sense of loneliness. And I took about a month to pluck up the courage to say, I need to go. And I was telling that about myself. The next guy to me, he had gone through a lot of grief, like a lot of loss in his life. And I'm fortunate I haven't had to deal with that. But I was sat there, and it's like, he's fought the exact same things I have. He's had the exact same experiences with poor therapy and whatnot, and just not getting it. Whereas people at Andy's do get it. And that's a really hard thing to quantify, but we just get it. And we're not going to judge you. Like, we accept all faiths, all religions, all political beliefs. As long as you're a man who identifies as a man and you're above the age of 18, we want to hear you. And like I say, there'll be one person you'll hear and be like, I can relate. And we want to hear from you. Like, we embrace everyone that comes in, again, because we know it's a hard journey. So my advice, do it. I think that's probably, but you're not going to be alone. That's the one piece of advice I would remind them. It's like, you are not alone, and at Andy's, you won't be alone.
Did you find personally, or do you find from, you know, the lads that use your service, that the fact that they're not sitting in front of a professional therapist, you know, they're actually sitting with just other guys? Do you think that really helps them kind of unload a little bit more? Definitely.
Like, we want to try and make it. It's an incredibly hard thing to talk about, but we want to make it as relaxed as possible. So the way Andy's works on a week-to-week basis, we have 5 questions every week. So if there's anyone new, we'll always do an introduction. So we'll do name, sometimes how long you've been coming, and one positive reason. So my one always is my name's Jake. I've been coming for just under 2 years now, been facilitating for about a year. And the reason I come is because I know every week I've got a bunch of lads that will make me feel heard, that I'll have a couple of laughs with, and I know want me to get better, despite not knowing a single thing about me outside of these four walls. Yeah. They just want me to do better and to feel better out the kindness of their heart. And that's a really endearing thing.
That's powerful, I'm sure.
I love it. Unless I'm got a commitment, I'm here. Good weeks or bad weeks. I don't have to be feeling down in the dumps or high up here. I will be here. So I have forgot your original question, which is really bad. I've went on a complete tangent.
No, don't worry about it. That's what this is all about, just to kind of chat about it all. Do you know what I mean? It's so, I mean, the whole Andy's Man Club concept, I mean, the principle behind it is fantastic. You know, being able, because we do all know that men do struggle, you know, not only men, but men do struggle by bottling things up a lot, you know. So having an environment like this, a safe environment where people can come and actually, you know, talk to their peers about their issues and, you know, maybe get some advice and guidance about how other people cope. You know, I mean, do you find that the guys really share amongst each other?
Yeah. So whenever you come for the first time, and I'm very adamant with this with our facilitators to remind people, there is no obligation to speak. You do not have to come here and feel like you have to tell us your life story straight off the bat. Now, if you want to, we will listen to you. I'm truly adamant about that. We will not make you feel like you have to hurry up. You have to skip details. If you feel like you just need to unload everything, do it. Yeah. But if you've come and you're nervous, you don't really know what to expect, you don't have to say a word. So we operate in a circle. You've got a talking ball. So if you've got that ball, then it's your turn to speak. If you just want to pass that ball on, pass that ball on. Yeah. We've had lads that have taken over a month before they finally spoke. And now you can't get them to shut up. We've had lads that come in and spill their life guts. Well, the guts about their life, I should say, immediately. Yeah. It depends on the person that they are. So we definitely find that it's a welcoming environment to give you that sense of I'll talk when I'm ready to talk about what I'm ready to talk. And not having someone you have to pay to be there, I think helps, or someone that's medically prescribed to you to be there. We're all choosing to be here for the same reasons, essentially. So you've got that sense of community, that sense of this isn't an appointment viewing. And I think as well with therapy, I'm in therapy myself, and I love my therapist. I think I've got a really good connection with them. And that's taken me a lot of time and a lot of other therapists to get to. So I can consider myself lucky, but I still get that feeling when I'm speaking, then it's like, sorry, Jake, I'm going to have to interrupt you now. That's our session. And we're done. Yeah. We try not to have that, Andy's, as much as we have other people to speak to, but we have a structure, we have questions in place where if I ask you, how's your week been? You know, okay, I'm not going to speak about a memory probably from 7 years ago that still really haunts. I mean, it might have come up that week and you may want to speak about it, but I'm not going to prod you with truly open-ended questions like, how did you feel about that? I don't need you to do some big soul searching. I just want you to tell me how your week's been. I want you to tell me one positive from your week. And that might be, I had a shower today. I got up today. I've got to Andy's. Whatever, even if it's just those little ones, throwing to, I got engaged this week. You know, I've been on holiday all week and it was fantastic. Like the big positives, we want to hear all of them. And then when we ask if you want to get anything off your chest, that probably is going to be a rant. That a lot of people do, that is our quote unquote rant round. It doesn't have to be negative, and we try to push that. Like I've been doing stuff about what I figured out in therapy that's really helped me to grow. But it's such a wide a range of life experiences, both current and past, that I think really opens up. Like we don't have to cover, whilst the questions sort of lean themselves to a topic, people are going to take that in so many different ways. It probably makes you feel easier, and it made me feel easier knowing I don't have to mimic anyone. I'm not trying to say what I think they want them to say. They want me to say. I'm just speaking what's on my mind, sort of thing. If you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a brilliant thing that you guys are doing here, and as you're saying, the growth, it's happening. The clubs are opening, which is fantastic. I mean, I believe the Corby one's been running, I think you said from about April?
Early April we started up, yeah.
Right, super. And you've managed to get a nice crowd from what you were saying as well. So the lads are actually know you're here and they're actually taking advantage of what you guys are doing. That's brilliant. So tell us a little bit more, if you know, of course, about what the bigger project is. What's the plans for the future?
So I guess I can speak about it from both Corby and from AMC. So AMC's overall goal at the minute is a club that is at most 30-minute drive from everyone in the UK.
Wow. That's ambitious, but that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, it is. Like, I think I said it earlier, like the number of 5,000 men. And then it's great. It's not enough.
Yeah.
And I think that's the culture of AMC. It's like as a whole, we're all doing some brilliant work, not just at Corby. I'm not going to toot our own horn here, but across the whole charity, it's fantastic what we're doing.
Yeah. There
needs to be more. There is a demand for more. Like, suicide rates are climbing.
Yeah, they're horrific.
And that's horrible. And a lot of stuff right now is not preventative. It's dealing with the problem once the problem's happened. And if one male suicide is going to affect 100 different people, the health concerns from that are just going to be widespread, because you're going to have to deal with some really crappy stuff if that happens to you. And I'm glad that hasn't happened to me.
Yeah.
But so yeah, like as a charity, it's within 30-minute drive, because it just makes it a bit more accessible. Yeah. That's literally it. Like, I started at Corby because in Northamptonshire, we're the only club in Northamptonshire, and
the whole county.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's because it started as a northern charity. It's then because you have to be a service user to grow it. Yeah. Like, you're not just going to be able to say, I really want to start my own club and just pick one out from your local area. Like, you need to go to a club and see the change it creates in you and the other guys, and realize, I want to do that. And that's what I did. So start of 2024, I started looking for the venue, which we found through the help of my family. We've now got so much local support, and we're getting more and more as people are being more aware of us now. It's fantastic. Like, the amount, any of the guys will tell you, the first night when we came, so I was telling myself I just want one new member. I had certain members coming from our old group because it was nearer for them, but I was telling myself for weeks, I just want one new guy. That's it. And we brought in 15 new lads.
Fantastic.
I could barely stand. I was the most overwhelmed I've been in years. And it was probably since my breakdown that I had before coming to Andy's. But it was a really good, overwhelming. Yeah. Like, all the lads are telling me, you've done a great job. Like, this is your thing, which I'm not used to at all. And I was just telling them to tell something mean about me, because I needed to balance it all out. It was too much good. So yeah, like at Corby, we just want to continue to grow. Like, the most we've had is 27 lads. We're in school holidays right now, so we're hovering at about 18 to 20, which is great. We help every week, 18 to 20 lads being helped out.
It's fantastic, yeah. But
we know there's more, and we want to be helping more, because at the end of the day, I want to get this place to the point where we need to expand. We need to find another venue. And I don't just mean in Corby, I mean in terms of local areas, somewhere like Northampton or Leicester or even closer, because there is a need for it.
Absolutely.
And I think as well, I've realized is that people want to help us.
Yeah.
It's a very strange feeling when people are like donating stuff to us, and their time or their company's resources or whatever, because they just want to do something good. And that's an incredibly gratifying thing to know that it's out there, that there is the support. So we want to take advantage of it, and we want to continue to help lads out.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I say it again. It's a fantastic job you guys are doing. It's absolutely brilliant. And so for those lads also that, that come along and utilize Andy's Man clubs around the country, I'm assuming as facilitators, you have information about, where you can signpost the guys if they do need any professional help or anything like that. You've got that information to hand to share.
Yeah. So we have as because we are not mental health first aiders.
Yeah.
We don't have any form of professional qualification. Like I say to my facilitators, you come for yourself first. It's not being selfish, but there is a reason you come, and that is to address what's going on with you. So do that. It's when you have the time and the energy to be able to help others, and that's not a big job. Like you can see, we've got the tables out behind us. I move the tables and create a circle. I ask the questions. That's about it. But if someone is going through a particularly hard time, to call the Samaritans. To call, like in Northamptonshire, we've got Mind. You can go in and see them. Obviously, you've got your local GP if you need to go to them. If it's an emergency situation, it's call 999. I think we all recognise that. So it's not just Andy's on a Monday night. I think, is the other key thing, is that whilst we're here, and we are here for the foreseeable, we're not going to be leaving anytime soon. It's Monday night can feel long at times. And especially, it's really weird. Everyone loves a bank holiday, but sometimes I really don't, because I'm like, I need to get stuff off my chest, and Andy's isn't there. But there are loads of other resources about, I can't remember the exact, but there's an app, it's something called like Hope. It's not Hope, Not Hate. I'd need to look it up again, but there is an app where you put in your postcode or you put in your town, and it shows you all the local resources to do with mental health.
Fantastic.
So it's not just falling on us. As much as we're going to try and plug that gap, you aren't alone. There are so many resources. It's just plucking it up and saying, I need help. Yeah. And once you do, it's a hard thing. I hated doing it.
Yeah.
But you get help, and you will find your way out of that hole. You'll find your way to being that bit happier.
Yeah.
And it might take ages. It might be one meeting, but it's there. So just give yourself the chance.
Fantastic advice there from Jake, everybody. You know what I mean? The guys are actually going to be coming in for a session soon, so we do have to wrap this up. I want to thank you very much, Jake, for being so open, being so honest with us, and telling us all about Andy's Man Club. That is super stuff. We are more than happy to support the cause. We have a platform here, so let's utilize it. Whenever you guys want us back to do a little bit more, please let us know, and we'll be happy to come down and do it again. Okay, because we want to keep reinforcing this message as well. We find it extremely important. So congratulations on doing such a good job here. I'm really impressed. And anybody in Corby, come and see Jake. We're down at the Resource Centre on Patrick Road. So if you do ever want to pop in, please come and see the guys. It sounds like it's a great place for you to get things off your chest and to unload a little bit. And on a national scale, as you say, go on the website, type in your postcode, and you'll see the local centre that you can go along and visit. All right, Jake, once more, thank you very much. And everybody keep an eye out for Andy's Man Club. They're doing a fantastic job. Bye-bye.
Bye.